Yes, students. So next cell organelle we are going to discuss is plastid, right? So plastids are exclusively found in plant cells. Animal cells are devoid of plastids. Plastids present only in the plant cells. Plastids are one of the largest cell organelles present in the plant cell. Similarly to the mitochondria, plastids are also double membrane cell organelles. First point we have to remember, they are also double membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. Mitochondria and plastids are double membrane cell organelles, cell parts. Similarly to the mitochondria, plastids also have presence of its own DNA and ribosomes. So again these also have 70S type of ribosome. In presence of its own DNA and ribosome, plastids are also semi-autonomous cell organelles. So if they ask what are the example of semi-autonomous cell organelles, these are mitochondria and plastids. What make them semi-autonomous? Presence of DNA and ribosomes. So please remember, plastids are also semi-autonomous cell organelles. Right? These are also semi-autonomous. These are also double membrane. So two similarities here we can see between mitochondria and plastid. Both are double membrane. Both have their own DNA and ribosomes. Plastids classified into two major categories on basis of presence or absence of pigment. Presence or absence of pigments. Plastids are of two types. Plastids without pigment. Pigment means the substances which the chemicals. Pigments are basically proteinaceous in nature. They are the protein which provide certain colors to the plant. Okay, so we know that different plant parts are of different color. Leaves or most of the parts of plant are green in color. Certain parts are pink, orange, violet. All colors can be seen in the plants. Okay, so these colors are due to colored plastids. Okay, so if pigments are absent, then these plastids are called leucoplast. Please remember, absence of pigments. Absence of pigment, no pigments. No pigments present. Okay. On the other hand, if pigments are present, then these plastids are called chromoplast. Chromo means color. Chromo means pigment. Presence of pigment. And all of us know most common pigment, most common type of plastid among chromoplast are chloroplast. Sometimes chloroplasts are separately classified and we can write plastids are of three types: leucoplast, chromoplast and chloroplast. But when we say presence or absence of pigment, leucoplast, presence of pigment, chromoplast, and one of the most common type of chromoplast or colored plastid is chloroplast. Chloro means green, so that contain a pigment, green color of pigment, that already we know. Chlorophyll pigment. Chlorophyll pigment. Please remember that have the pigment that is called chlorophyll pigment. Right? This chlorophyll pigment play a key role in photosynthesis. These are photosynthetic pigments. These are the structure where the photosynthesis takes place. Chromoplast may be of other color also. They may have different type of pigments, like generally we say xanthophyll. These are xanthophylls or carotenoids. Okay, so these names we can remember. These are the other pigments. So chromoplast have pigments like xanthophyll, like carotenoids. These are yellow-orange pigments. Carotenoids are red color of pigments. Chlorophyll is green color of pigments. So simply we can say, if pigments are present, then plastid is called chromoplast. Most abundance of pigment is chlorophyll. Most common plastid is the chloroplast that provide green color to the plant. On the other hand, there is a plastid where there is no color, no pigments are present. These are called leucoplast. Main function of leucoplast is to storage of food. This is very important. All of us know most common stored food in plant cell is starch. On basis of that we give different names. Other reserve food may be protein. There may be oil droplets. So we use different word, amyloplast, elioplast and so on. So main function of leucoplast is to store the food, to reserve the food. That may be in form of starch, protein or oil. Like oil seeds definitely will be having more oil droplets. The oil containing plastids. So these plastids can be generally seen in the seeds, fruits or the parts of plant where there is no particular color is present. These parts have leucoplast. Green parts have evidence of chloroplast along with chromoplast. So it is not very specific that in this particular plant part will be this plastid only. Mixture of these are present. Even with the chloroplast there is presence of leucoplast, but they perform different functions. Chloroplast are rich in pigment that is called the chlorophyll. So let's look into some detailed structure of the chloroplast, because this pigment chlorophyll present in the chloroplast and this play very important role in photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is conversion of radiation energy into chemical energy. And this reaction is most important reaction in the living world. It converts the solar energy into the chemical energy, on which chemical energy complete living world is directly or indirectly depends. So as I mentioned, when we talk about chloroplast, it is double membrane. So chloroplast may be of different shape. In different plant, like in Spirogyra, you will learn spiral shapes, in some cup shape. Okay, so chloroplast may be of different shape, but most common chloroplast in higher plant is rod-like, capsule-like. As we know, this is double membrane. So this is the outer membrane. It has another membrane that is called inner membrane. Okay, and the gap present between membrane is called, this is the outer membrane. This is inner membrane, right? So it is double membrane. Now from here we must know there is a presence of internal membranous structures. These membranous structures play important role in photosynthesis. They bear the chlorophyll pigments. So each this membrane bound small sac-like structure is called thylakoids. We will not go in much detail of it, thylakoids, and all the thylakoids which are stacked together known as the granum. So two words you can remember, thylakoids and granum, and the fluid present in between. The matrix of chloroplast is known as stroma. So three elements we can remember. The sac-like structure where in the membrane chlorophyll pigment present are called thylakoids. Thylakoids are stacked together. They make the structure called granum. Thylakoids are the key structure which help in photosynthesis, which help in harvesting of sunlight. And the fluid part is called stroma. Similarly to the mitochondria, please remember, also have presence of ribosomes, 70S type of ribosome, and there is also presence of, remember, DNA that make plastids semi-autonomous. Overall function of chloroplast is to provide green color to the plant, and most important function is to harvest the sunlight to carry out the photosynthesis. This is the site of glucose synthesis. This is the site where photosynthesis takes place. Next cell organelle we can take, that is a ribosome. Ribosome, all of us know, found in all type of cell. It may be prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cells. In both type of cells, ribosomes are present. Another very important feature of ribosome is this is non-membranous cell organelle. So this is the only structure you have to learn, which is non-membranous, non-membrane bound cell part. Okay, generally cell part have single membrane, not double membrane. There are two types we already know, 70S type and 80S type. S here stands for Svedberg unit. This is represent the density. 70S type of ribosomes are present in prokaryotes, then in mitochondria and chloroplast. In eukaryotic cell, these are present in mitochondria and chloroplast. 70S type of ribosome is the identity of prokaryotic cell. These are found in eukaryotic cells. Where they are found in eukaryotic cells, they may be associated with endoplasmic reticulum or free present in cytoplasm. Present in cytoplasm. If we look into the structure, each ribosome consists of two subunits. Okay. This is called smaller unit, smaller subunit. Okay, and another one is called, as it appears, larger subunit. This is called larger subunit. So, like it is a 70S type of ribosome, prokaryotic ribosome. So, it is of 30S, and separately this is of 50S. So, this is separate density of this. Here we have to remember that there are two subunits, smaller subunit and larger subunit. These subunits are made up of type of nucleic acid or type of genetic material that is called ribosomal RNA. These are called ribosome because they contain ribosomal RNA. Okay, soma means body and ribo word comes from the ribosomal RNA. Overall function of ribosome is protein synthesis. Please remember, protein synthesis. So these are associated with ER. So we know ER is able to synthesize protein in presence of ribosome. These are commonly known as protein factories of cell. These are protein factories of cell. They help in synthesis of protein. Okay. Next cell organelle we can discuss is vacuole. Vacuole are membrane bound vesicles present in plant and animal both the cells. So first of all, these are membrane bound, so we must know the name of membrane. Membrane of vacuole is known as membrane. This is single membrane. Membrane is known as chromoplast. So this is very important word. Membrane of vacuole is known as chromoplast. Vacuole is basically, these are storage vesicles. Storage vesicles. We give different names. Like if they store food, then these are called food vacuole, gas, then gaseous vacuole, oil vacuole, and so on. Okay, so vacuoles are basically storage units of the cell. They help in storage of substances. Right? If we compare the vacuole in plant and animal cell, plant cells have larger vacuole. Okay, always remember plant cells have a prominent large vacuole. Like if we talk about plant cell, this is cell wall of plant cell. Okay, so we can see here there is a presence of prominent large vacuole. Okay, this is vacuole. Vacuole in plant cell. This is a prominent large vacuole. So this large vacuole puts the nucleus to the periphery. Nucleus is peripheral and there is presence of large. So in case of plant, vacuole is large in size and less in number. There is generally single, less number of vacuole. Okay. Opposite to it, in animal cell, vacuoles are smaller in size and more in number. This vacuole not only help in storage of additional water, waste substances, gases, and so and so. This vacuole provide turgidity. This vacuole provide strength to the plant cell. These vacuoles keep the cell turgid. Okay, it provides strength. It provides support to the cytoplasm in the plant cell. So always remember, plant cell have larger vacuole in comparison to the animal cell. Only single or less number of vacuoles are present in plant cell. Animal cell have very small size vacuole and more in number. Overall function of vacuole is to store the substances which are not in use or something waste substances. In case of unicellular organisms, vacuole may help in digestion like in amoeba. Food vacuole may help in excretion of substances like contractile vacuole. Okay, so this is all about the vacuole. Thank you.